Konami has just announced another new batch of cards that will be released in the upcoming OCG set Limit Over Collection, The Rivals. But not just any batch of new cards, a batch of new Overframe cards. You heard me right. There are, I believe, six. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, 6 new Overframe cards have been added to that very set. But before we get to that, I want to show off a little something from the Heroes Limit Over Collection set, and it is another alternate art, if you will, of arguably one of the strongest, not not one of the strongest cards, but one of the best cards that we've seen thus far in Yu-Gi-Oh's history. Excuse me. Excuse me. And it is none other than Sky Striker Mobilize Engage. So Engage has gotten a second alternate art, which this looks a lot better than the first alternate art. But yeah, there's that. And I will say, I will say that these Overframe cards are just absolutely insane. Like, we can 100% see these get played in some capacity this year in 2026, because 2026 has been already, it's been off to a very unique start for Yu-Gi-Oh. Obviously, new ban list. The Yummy deck has basically become dead at this point. Riziel is still in the format. Mitsurugi is still viable, but it's like super niche, if you will. So I'm not gonna waste any time. I'm gonna get straight into it, because these 6 cards might just be the best cards that we've seen in a long time. So first one up is Deep Ice White Dragon, the Blue Abyss. And honestly, it kind of looks like a fusion of Blue Eyes White Dragon and Stardust Dragon in a way. It actually looks pretty cool. Really cool, you guys. Give you guys a second to take a look at the art. And of course, too, you guys could also pause the video and take a look at the arts if you needed. But it is a 10-star light dragon with zero attack and defense, and it says that this card is always treated as a Blue Eyes card. Both of its effects are once per turn. The first effect reads: you can discard this card, add 1 level 1 light tuner from your deck to your hand. Second effect reads: if a Blue Eyes Ritual monster and or Blue Eyes White Dragon is sent to your grave, you can target one of them, special summon this card from your grave if it was there when the monster was sent, or hand even if not. And if you do, its attack becomes that monster's, but banish it when it leaves the field. Okay, so this is basically tuning on a 10-star body. And what's cool about this is that you can send this card from your hand to your grave, and you can add Sage to your hand without having to use up the effects of Wishes for Eyes of Blue, where it's you discard a card, you add a Blue Eyes spell and a Blue Eyes tuner to your hand, which that alone is great. But this card is 10 times better, because you can use this card to add Sage to your hand, and then use up Wishes to pitch. I'll say a Pre-Might Dragon, the 7-star. You can send that card to your graveyard to add Roar and what's the other one? Maiden of White. I think I actually have the deck here with me. Give me a second. I actually have my Blue Eyes deck in this deck box right here. So let's see. Yeah. So theoretically, you could pitch a Premi Dragon either Burial or the other one to add. Yeah, this girl made in a white secret rare, mind you. Um, add you can add it plus roar to your hand. So when you normal summon this guy, Sage with eyes blue, you can use Sage's effect to add this to your hand, and you basically have more. You can go into more synchro bodies. Um, just not only by using that card, this card, Blue Eyes, uh, Deep Eyes White Dragon's effect, but also off of this card's effect as well, which is really cool. Which is really cool. So I would probably say that we'll probably be looking at a format where Blue Eyes could creep its way into the meta, but I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it, but only time will tell. But again, time will tell. And what's cool about this card's second effect is that this acts as a cyber rev system. So if this card is in your hand or in your graveyard, you can bring it out for free, and its attack point and its attack becomes that of whatever Blue Eyes monster was sent to your graveyard. So let's say Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon was the card that got sent to your graveyard off of the effect of, let's say, wishes for Eyes of Blue. Once that chain resolves, then in a new chain, this card's effect would trigger, and if it's in your graveyard, you can special summon it from your graveyard, and its attack becomes that of Chaos Max Dragons, which is kind of cracked. The only thing is that you do have to banish it, but the only way you can bypass it is if you use it as Exceeds material, which it's possible to use Deep Eyes as a material for a rank 10. But you would literally need another level 10 to go into a rank 10, which is, it's possible, but it's not likely that it's going to happen. Next up, we've got Future Fusion Nova. So we are going back to the days of Edison format, which Future Fusion in Edison is a fucking menace. Let's just be real on that. Let's just be real. It's a continuous spell with the effect being a once per turn that reads, when this card resolves, fusion summon a light machine fusion from your extra deck using monsters from your deck, including Cyber Dragon. Also, for the rest of the turn after this card resolves, you cannot special summon except for machines. Also, you cannot attack except with the summon monster. If this card leaves the field, destroy that monster. If that monster is destroyed, destroy this card. Okay, so this is basically Future Fusion, but for Cyber Dragons. And what's cool about this is that with Future Fusion, you can use Future Fusion for pretty much anything. And I know that because I've seen it get played a lot in Edison. Excuse me. Obviously, me going to locals every Sunday. I always see people use Future Fusion to go into Elemental Hero Absolute Zero, which Ab Zero in Edison is crazy. It is a wild card to use. Absolutely wild. What's cool? So the cool thing about this card is that it's basically it's a combination of Future Fusion and Call the Haunted. And what I mean by that is with the first part of the effect, meaning which lets you fusion summon. That's the Future Fusion. What's Now this is where the Call of the Haunted comes into play because of the last two sentences that are on the card. If this card leaves the field, destroy that monster. If that monster is destroyed, destroy this card. That's basically Call of the Haunted. So, is this good? Absolutely, 100%. It's good. Will it make Cyber Dragons meta? No. I'm being real. Cyber Dragons will never be meta. It used to back in the days of Edison format, back in the days of half format. But that was just it. That's basically it, right? Sure, sure, it's possible to make Cyber Dragons meta, but the only way that it could ever be a meta deck is if the archetype got more new support that made the deck stronger than it seems. But it's never gonna happen. Like, Cyber Dragons will never be meta. 100% will never be meta. But that brings us to the next card. It is known as Red Dragon Archfiend's Chain. Oh my god. Okay. So it's basically shooting Star Dragon in chains. That actually looks pretty badass. That looks so badass. Give you guys a second to take a look. Actually looks really cool. Got to admit that. And it is a continuous trap with the effect being a once per turn, and it says that you can activate this card the turn it was set by revealing Red Dragon Archfiend in your extra deck. So the effect reads as follows. Activate this card by revealing any number of monsters from your hand. Then target effect monsters your opponent controls equal to the number of tuners revealed plus 1. They lose 100 attack for each card revealed. Also, their effects are negated. If the last of those monsters is not on the field, destroy this card. So this is basically Fiendish Chain on steroids. Literally, this card is going to make Red Dragon Archfiend even more busted than it's ever been before. And what's really cool about this is that this, obviously, yes, the downside is that yes, this card has to be in Red Dragon Archfiend decks specifically, but this card can stop pretty much everything. It can stop everything. It can stop Raziel. It can stop Mitsurugi. It can stop Monarch decks, because obviously nowadays with the Mitsurugi archetype, Monarchs have slowly made their way into the meta, and I would like to think that maybe Red Dragon Archfiend could be meta, but I feel like if they were to get a Link monster, imagine Red Dragon Archfiend as a Link monster. There's a lot of damage that Link monster could potentially do with Red Dragon Archfiend. So this card is really busted. It's basically Fiendish Chain on steroids. Literally, that's all there is to it. That's literally all there is to it. Next up, we've got Galaxy Defense Robot Orbital 7. Try saying that 5 times fast. Honestly, it looks weird. The artwork looks weird, cool, but weird. And it's basically Orbital 7. So let's see what this little guy can do. It's an 8-star light machine with 2,000 attack and defense. Yeah, not so little, is he? Both of its effects are once per turn. The first effect reads: you contribute this card from your hand or field. Take one Photon monster and a Galaxy monster from your deck. Add one of them to your hand and send the other to the grave. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of the turn, except for light monsters. Second effect reads: if a Galaxy Eyes monster is special summoned to your field, you can special summon this card from your grave, but banish it when it leaves the field. The best part about this is that you can use this card as material for an Exceed summon. So you're bypassing pretty much all. You're basically bypassing the banishing restriction by using orbital as material. So if your opponent, let's say that you special summons, um let's say your hand is, I actually have my Galaxy Eyes deck here with me. It's not complete. It's not complete because I'm still missing quite a few cards. But let's say your hand is Schwarzschild Infinity Dragon, Galaxy Eyes Afterglow Dragon, and we'll say Photon Vanisher plus Photon Orbital. Let's Photon Orbital, and I'll say, what's another good one? I'll say Galaxy Trance, right? Like let's say that's your hand. You can go, or sorry, and you would have to have a normal summonable monster. So we'll say the normal summonable monster will be is Galaxy Summoner. Let's say that, right? You would go Schwarzschild Infinity Effect, special summon it, then special summon Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Primal. That's one Xyz monster that you have. Then you would go normal summon Photon Orbital, or sorry, you would summon then you would go ahead and normal summon Galaxy's Summoner. Photon Orbital's effect triggers, and you equip Orbital to Summoner, and then tribute it off for Photon Vanisher. You guys get the idea. If you have a way to put Photon, if you have a way to put that guy into the graveyard and go into another rank 8, that's what you're gonna end up doing. Honestly, this card on Master Duel could do a lot of damage. Even in today's meta, it can do a lot of damage. Like, I would probably say, out of all of the level 8 Galaxy Eyes cards that they're gonna be running, which your level 8s are all gonna end up being this, right? It's gonna be 3 copies of Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, 2 copies of Galaxy Eyes Afterglow Dragon, 2 copies of Nebula Dragon, and then 2 copies each of the of Schwarzschild Infinity Dragon and Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Primal. That's gonna be your level 8 lineup. So in my opinion, I would probably take out I don't know. That's a bit of a tricky one. I would probably take out Galaxy Cleric or Galaxy Summoner and replace those with at least that, with 2 copies of that. So it will probably be replace 1 Summoner and 1 Cleric and put the two Galaxy defenses in the deck, because of the fact that it can easily be brought back from the grave for free without any hassle. Like, it's super good. This is by far probably one of the best cards that Galaxy Eyes decks have ever had in a long time. Even better than the cards from, I think, what was it, Maze of the Master, if I remember right. Right, Maze of the Master. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I know it's from Maze of the Master because I actually have this guy, but I'm still missing like most of the key components. So, um, hopefully I can find them. I doubt I will, but you never know. You never know. Honestly, I want to rebuild Galaxy Eyes, but I don't have all the cards for it because of the fact that all the cards, of all the new support that's in Maze of the Master, they are so expensive. Like I could probably find Tachyon Primal on TCG Player, and it'll probably go for like $30 or something. Um, like let's see here. Tachyon Primal, yeah, literally Secret Rare goes for almost like TCG Direct has it set at $20, but it's mostly like a $3, a $5 Secret Rare, which is horrendous. It's horrendous. Um, but as far as Infinity Dragon is not it's not too bad. It's still about the same price. But for right now, I'm not really looking to deal with that. I'm mostly looking to upgrade my Black Wing Edison deck actually because of the fact that most of the cards I want to upgrade the rarity to foils to hollows. So obviously the Kalutes I want to take out my rares to put in the plat Seeker rares. Heavy Storm I want to try and get at least a super rare for it. Um, Eventually I will do an updated version of the deck, but I'm only gonna do that if I get at least like third place or something in at locals at Bear Cave. Shout outs to Bear Cave CCG in Northridge. The hospitality there is awesome. I believe there's gonna be a YCS like qualifier or something like that, taking place this Sunday. So I'm pretty sure that it's gonna be pretty packed on Sunday. So to anyone who is going to that event on Sunday in Northridge, if you guys are fans of the channel and you guys want to come say hi, I will always say hi back. Take photos with you guys. Maybe just talk to you guys for a bit. Who knows? But now we have two more cards left to talk about. So the next one up is Clearwing Synchro Dragon of the Four Heavenly Dragons. So I believe I believe they did Odd Eyes and Starving Venom. All we're missing, I think, is Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon, and this was the other one that we're missing. So here's this, which looks pretty cool, really cool, by the way. And it is a 7-star Wind Dragon Synchro with 2,500 attack, 2,000 defense, and requires a tuner and one or more non-tuners. And it says that this card is always treated as a Speedroid card. Both of its effects are once per turn, and the first effect reads: if this card is special summoned, you can destroy one effect monster your opponent controls, and if you do, this card gains attack equal to that monster's original attack. Second effect reads: when your opponent activates a card or effect as a quick effect, you can special summon a low 4 or lower Wind Tuner from your hand or grave, but its effects are negated. Then, immediately after this effect resolves, you can synchro summon a Wind monster. So, interestingly enough, you can use this in any wind-based deck, mostly Speedroids. Mostly Speedroids. you could theoretically use it in what was it, Mecha Phantom Beasts? Because I know that because I've heard a lot of chatter that supposedly Mecha Phantom Beast is going to be getting more support over time. I don't know exactly when. Um, I think with Mecha Phantom Beast O-Line still banned, I believe. I think O-Line is still banned, right? No, it is not. Mecha Phantom Beast is not banned. It's actually off. It's actually off the ban list. Oh my god! Did they put it at 3? Oh my god! They actually put Mecha Phantom Beast O line at 3. Holy shit! Excuse me. That's actually kind of insane. That's actually kind of insane that they would put Mecha Phantom Beast O Lion at 3. That's actually kind of crazy. But anyway, Mecha Phantom Beast could also abuse this card. It's mostly gonna be Speedroids. So I've got no doubt in my mind that Speedroids is definitely gonna be another one of those decks that will slowly make their way into the meta. It but it's gonna it'll have potential, but it just needs more support. And most of the cards in the archetype aren't even that good anyway, except for like I think what was it oh my god, the two key cards, what was it, double yo-yo, or sorry, Terratop and Terratop and the other one, I cannot think of the name. um I cannot think of it. I'm like blank. I'm my mind is drawing a blank. But you guys know exactly which one I am talking about. It's Terratop and that one are the two like meta were like two of the most meta defined cards of in of the format. So possible that Speedroids could be meta. We'll have to wait and see. But that brings us to the final card of the video, and it is known as Rocket Barrage. So obviously, you guys can probably tell, Rockets are getting more support, which is awesome. 5-star Dark Dragon, 1500 attack, 1600 defense. Both of its effects are once per turn. First effect, you can send one Dark Dragon from your deck to the grave, except a level 5 monster. Special summon this card from your hand. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra for the rest of the turn, except Darks. Second effect, when a Link Monster's effect is activated that targets this card on the field as a quick effect, you can destroy this card, then special summon up to one Rocket Monster each from your hand, deck, and or banishment. Or sorry, hand, deck, grave, and or banishment except Rocket Barrage. So you basically get to spam your board with a bunch of rocket monsters that can help you go into your Dragon Link place, which is busted. It's absolutely busted. Absolutely busted. Dragon Links, they're creeping. They're creeping their way back. But what's even more cool is that a lot of these a lot of these archetypes that are getting new cards, you know, like Blue Eyes, Stardust, Dark Magician, Cyber Dragons, Red Dragon Archfiend, Galaxy Eyes, all these different decks that were once meta, they're now slowly getting more support to the point where those decks can actually become meta. And one of the decks that we could see become a meta strategy. Actually, I'm trying to pull in out of this deck box. Is none other than, if I can, yeah, is none other than Stardust. Stardust decks are going to be are going to be 10 times busted than they ever were before, because of the fact that we gotten new synchros like Scribe Warrior and Drunk Warrior Extreme, as well as other cards, like One Way Synchro. This card, Synchro Fellowship. Um, what else? Obviously this guy, Scrap Synchron. Um, even also these cards as well. And then also reprints, obviously reprints like Crossout, which is nuts. So with all of these archetypes getting new support, one could argue that we might be seeing these decks become viable meta decks in 2026. Is it possible? 100%. It is very possible. But which of these decks are going to be the most meta? Honestly, it's hard to say, because there's at least a dozen. There is at least a dozen of these archetypes that got new support. Out of all of them, I would probably say Stardust is going to be the most viable medicine. Is going to be the most viable, because of the fact that it got a lot of new support in the legendary 5Ds decks, which I did do an opening on a few weeks ago. If you have not checked out that video, I recommend you guys watch it and check it out, because it's like I said, right? I dare someone to tell me that set is not busted, because again, you're getting reprints of every hand trap imaginable. Cards like Crossout Designator, Call by the Grave, Drone Lockbird, Ash Blossom, Ghost Bell, Ghost Ogre. All these hand traps that are worth like $5, $10, $15 are being reprinted in a set like the legendary 5Ds decks, and I want to get 2 more of them, but right now they're starting to slowly go up in price a little bit, because it's that fucking good. So again, Stardust could potentially make its way up there into into meta contention. Red Dragon Archfiend could potentially do so. But we're still waiting for Blazing Dominion to come out, which I believe in the OCG. I think the OCG should be getting it within the next month. I want to say the next month and a half. For us in the TCG, we won't be getting it, I think, until May. I think until either May or June. So there is still time for us to think about what decks will be in the format post Blazing Dominion. But for right now, it's mostly gonna be Stardust. Out of this set, it's gonna be Stardust that will potentially make its way into the format. But with that being said, that'll do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more card discussions in the future, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All of my @s will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.